Ross Solomon!
Greetings YouTube, welcome to Zero AD Newbie Rush. I'm Jim Cogan and we are back again. It's Sunday, it's 4v4. Couple of points of business beforehand though. Those of you keen watchers of the channel will have noticed in the Friday just gone, you will have had the opportunity to see me play and talk at the same time, and it was an interesting and colourful experience. If you want a laugh, I trust go back and watch that. It was quite funny. Valorant I am definitely not, but it was a fun game. Little bit rude in places, I must admit. All kind of reservations and calmness when I'm actually playing go straight out the window. So you have been adequately warned. Some of the language is a little bit coarse in that one, but it was a lot of fun and the response has been really positive. And you crazy people, it looks like you want me to do more of those, so I might have to see what I can do about that. But if you want to watch some real quality players play one of the best games I've ever seen, you can do no worse than go back to the midweek game that I've just broadcast between Let's Wave a Book and Lorenz. Absolutely unbelievably close, well balanced, very tight match, and there are very few people I think in the world, besides possibly Valorant and Borg, who might not learn something from that. It was an incredible game to watch, and really impressive, and it's getting some very good feedback, rightly so. Credit to both players there. Last thing, the replay archive, where you can actually download all the games you see on Newbie Rush, is a little bit behind. I think I'm a week or two behind. Hopefully by the time roundabout by the time this gets broadcast or shortly after, it will be up to date and you'll be able to download all the latest games and analyze them yourselves. Right, that's that out the way. Let's get into the action. Here we are, 4v4 mainland, medium size map, temperate biome, 200 pop max, and a roster of 8 very good players. Let's start the action. I've got the unit silhouettes on, just in case you were wondering. We're good to go. Here we are. We will start with Team 1 in the north. In the blue, it is Isam96, great friend of the channel, rating of F, which possibly means very good. He is a good player. Don't know what these custom ratings all mean, but Isam96, we've seen him enough times. He is a very decent player, playing as the Macedonians. Moving along in the light blue, or cyan, playing as the Seleucids, it's Faction 02, Faction 2, 1378, another decent player, seen them play before in team games, solid player, looking forward to seeing them play. In the yellow, playing as the Ptolemies, Caesar, rating of 1580, another very tidy player indeed, seen them before too, and very much looking forward to seeing them again. And finally, rounding out Team 1 in the pink or fuchsia color, we have Emperor, rating of 1465, very solid Team 1. Playing as the Romans, not seemingly anybody's favourite civ in Alpha 25. On a flank, I think they've got a lot of work in front of them to hold this flank, but we shall see what they are up against. Team 2 now in the south, playing as the Gauls in the orange. It's Misha97, the one player in this team I've never seen play before. Fairly low rating. Gonna be up against it against Isam. I've got to be honest, I don't fancy Misha's chances in that particular battle. But the rest of Team 2, in the red, Expert, rating of 1579, played a team game with them recently and they kicked my ass very badly. So Expert, we know, is a tidy player, playing as the Seleucids, decent rating. One of the big hitters in this game. Moving along in the green, the biggest hitter on paper, possibly Isam might actually be higher, but having declared a rating in the green, it's Mark Auriel. Haven't seen them for a little while, great to see them again in the green, playing as the Ptolemies, 1624. And rounding out Team 2 in the purple, we have Pistol Pete, no rating, but we've seen Pistol Pete a number of times, certainly in team games, a very, very capable player, facing off on this flank against, we mentioned them earlier, Emperor in the pink or fuchsia playing as the Romans. Now, usual checks, nobody's gone massively in for Cav. Faction 2 has got 3 Cav units, but Faction 2 has got a lot of hunt nearby. I'm seeing light blue dots heading south, so we could have an early raid. Who are they going to go for? Are they just scouting, or are they checking the lay of the land? Maybe making early provisions as to where they might expand to. It's very common for the player on the inside pocket position here to want to put a base right about here to hold this area and support the player on the flank. They've gone straight in for Misha 97, so perhaps they've identified Misha 97 as a weak link. Misha 97 has Javelineers nearby, so not going to get much change of that. They have now gone to stealing the food from Expert. Expert sees them and turns tails. He's looking to get reinforcements, more horses out. This could be an interesting one. Are they going to chase them away thoroughly, or are they just focusing on their economy? Yeah, they've seen them off. And I think that could be the end of... Oh no, not quite. Yeah, they're going to try and steal all the food on the way back. Interesting tactic there for Faction 2. Might as well, if you haven't got any kills. They've got 1. So if you're going to go out there and raid, but raiding isn't really possible, then nick some food on the way back, I guess. Let's look at populations. Mark Aurel has ripped into the lead with a population of 50, although we need some houses. Who is following up there? Next up, it's Pistol Pete. So Team 2 on this side, giving a good showing in terms of populations to begin with. Whole load of play. Yeah, Mark Aurel is now pop capped at 50. That's not very good. Come on, Mark Aurel. Yeah, he sorted that. He's now pop capped at 55. So in pursuit of production, he's got himself pop capped. I'm hearing shooting, but I think that's hunting. So no other deaths and no other incursions. Faction 2 and ISAM have both hit 50. It's pretty fast on 4 minutes. Pistol Pete seemingly stuck on 45, now gone up to 49, bringing up the rear a little bit. We've got Emperor and Caesar. So the 2 players over here. No, Caesar's over here, Emperor is over here. So it's possibly a bit of early pressure, but fighting. He's gone a bit too far. So Emperor has stretched out and has gone for quite an aggressive start. He's got 8 infantry. Caesar's got 20 infantry already. And deaths caused by Emperor, 7 kills to 2. And these are 7 kills on Pistol Pete. So Pistol Pete in a bit of trouble early doors. And losing female citizens. I think Pistol Pete has got enough defences here. He's starting to get a little bit back. He's got the Iberian walls, so there will not be too much danger. But is Pistol Pete going to go and counter this a bit? Because there are 16 women there. That is a soft target if ever I saw one. He is. So this is where it's happening. Seeing an interesting blue spike coming out of Faction 2's base there. I think that's just an expansion. That tower going up here, obviously. And they're going to try and deny that tower. They've got the tower up. There's people in it, 3 of them. And now Pistol Pete has got the ability to shoot at this area here, making these berries somewhat inaccessible. Group of skirmishers. There's one woman in there who's probably target practice, and Pistol Pete has to retreat a little bit. But all the time, anybody here is going to be shot up by this. It's only the small sentry tower, but it's a presence all the same. What's down here? It's mostly women down here, although there are some infantry. And Faction, is it Faction? No, Emperor has boxed themselves in a little bit, but they have got a lot of firepower there, but they're getting weakened all the time. And 16 kills for Emperor. I'm keeping an eye elsewhere to see if anything else is going on, but this is where it's all happening. So far, Emperor's little incursion has been pretty successful. But is it at the expense of population? Now Pistol Pete and Emperor have moved to the bottom of the population stakes. Now Pistol Pete, I think, has made a mistake there. He sent 3 units in to face off against the surviving 6. So he kind of needs to pull them together or they're going to get taken out one at a time. And now Pistol Pete's gone into the wall. He's got people in the wall shooting at them. These guys are going to die very quickly. There's only 5 of them left now. Being taken out by the tower. Down to 3. Mark Oriel's hit 100 on 6 minutes. That is ridiculous. I know 62 of them are women, but I mean, by anyone's standards, that is incredibly fast. I'm going to have to go back into the replay and have a look at how he did it, because that is phenomenal, but equally good. 94 there from Faction 2. ISAM 96 pop capped on, or he was pop capped on 80. He's got it up to a maximum of 90. Is this still going on? Yeah, I think the shooting's over now. So normality returns to the right hand flank, although I don't think Emperor's done with this. Is he going to try and go for a capture? It's fully garrisoned, but you don't need too many things to capture these little towers. I think he's going to try and destroy it. No, he is trying to capture it, but now they're target practice for Pistol Pete's Javelineers. I think that could possibly... I don't know, they're nearly halfway there. I was going to say, I think that could be a folly. Emperor has actually phased up whilst doing this, so that's quite impressive. But population lowest of anybody, 42 now, and 41 falling. And he is losing troops for fun. He's surely got to focus on his eco now. Faction 2 has started the town phase as well. So Pistol Pete getting bogged down with this, possibly leaving the door open for Caesar to park up here, but equally Mark Aurel I think is going to be there first. And I think now Emperor has decided that's enough of that, but this is going to be a contentious area. Let's look how everybody else is doing. Leading at the moment, still Mark Aurel, very, very well developed Civ now, coming together, producing en masse. So he absolutely is producing from everywhere. And Faction 2 going at a similar sort of speed. Misha 97 has done quite well. Has actually got a lot more infantry. A lot more infantry than ISAM. But this is quite open, whereas ISAM is filling up this space. Not going after this wood line, which is a surprise. The only wood line that Misha's going after is this one, which probably not as safe as this one, because you're open to attack from the side and it leaves your front open. But with a population that big, I think he'll probably feel quite strong with this. But yeah, it's interesting. Couple more players phasing up now. Caesar going to phase 2, population of 80, a little bit slow on 9 minutes. Hasn't got any calves, so I think Caesar's just been struggling with it. With the Ptolemies, he should be up near 100. I can't quite understand why he's not. He has got all of the eco upgrades, so maybe that has curtailed his ability to boom. But he's in phase 2 now. Misha is starting phase 2. Mark Aurel has reached the town phase, so we are waiting on Expert, who we've not looked at. 138, going along silently, steadily, not getting involved in much, but, you know, is going to be a danger. Faction 262 is just one behind Mark Oriel. Experts phased up. Now we're waiting for Pistol Pete, who has been hamstrung slightly. Pistol Pete is the last player not to get out of phase 1 so far. Expert and ISAM now making that transition. Pistol Pete needs to get a move on really quick. His population isn't too bad. He's got 72, which is more than Emperor has. Emperor has already reached phase 2. But is lacking troops. He's not making cav. I think those early excursions have cost him 31 kills, 30 losses. But Pistol Pete has come off better in that. But he is still in phase 1. And still the only person in phase 1. He must be going soon, surely. So quite conservative. Apart from this one attack on the flanks, everybody else has been quite well behaved. Expert is making cav. What kind of cav is he making? Let's have a look. Expert in the red. He's making militia cavalry. So ranged javelineers. Okay. So I think we know what Expert is planning. There they are.
Yeah, Steve.
There's 5 of them. Is he planning to make a move on ISAM? Pistol Pete's still not out of phase 1. It's very uncharacteristic for him. Misha has gone straight to phase 3. This is interesting. That was a lightning phase 2. He's phasing up on 10 minutes. 10 minutes and 46 seconds. Reinforcing this boundary here. I've been quite impressed with Misha. I'd never seen them play before, so I don't know if this is like a Smurf account of a top player. Could possibly be. They're certainly not playing like a newbie, that's all I would say so far. ISAM been quite conservative, population of 164 in phase 2. Caesar has totally gone for all of the eco upgrades. He is planning to get everything on the market that comes out. Mark Oriel, phase 2, and is getting military upgrades. So looking ominous. I think Mark Oriel really wants to stamp his authority on this. Faction 2, similar situation, started phase 3 as well. So interesting. And Caesar has put a base down. Caesar has expanded and has put down a military colony just on the borders of Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete will be unaware of this, and it looks like Emperor is mounting to get that. He's going to get that tower. He has captured it, and Pistol Pete does not want to send that few troops in there. They are going to get slaughtered, especially the fact he's still in phase 1. There's a lot there, but Pistol Pete he's not going to be able to hold this. He is just going to be wasting his time. He needs to focus on getting up. Give up the tower. It's there. It's gone. You'll be able to get it back if you capture this territory. But this is quite a danger zone now that Emperor's put in place. I think he wants to worry more about what Caesar is doing. Lots of players heading up to phase 3 now. Faction 2, ISAM 96, Mark Oriel and Expert all phasing up. That's quite a wall arrangement that Mark Oriel's trying to set up there. So not wanting to be attacked from the middle. As we see, Faction 2 has made it to phase 3. ISAM on his way, Caesar on there. Pistol Pete embroiled in this conflict. He is in big trouble. He's just having one of those games where he can't get going. It's not good. He's still got more population than Emperor, but has got next to no infantry. Keeps losing his infantry, now very much in deficit in terms of kill-death ratio. And that is a barracks going up between these 2 towers. This one's being upgraded. So Pistol Pete is not going to get these back easily. Dangerous times for Pistol Pete. Expert's on the move with his militia cavalry. I think he has found this expansion by Faction 2. It's an elephant house, 2 elephant houses. He's not interested in destroying them. He is trying to take out the Labour build force there, and that's produced a reaction from Faction 2. He's chasing him away. Anybody else going in? Everybody's going in for the military upgrades at the moment. Look at this. Quite a few gone in for that. Only 3 players haven't got any of the upgrades. Expert is one of them, interestingly. What's he going to do now? Is he still trying to further hassle Faction 2? Is he looking for weaknesses? Faction 2 has pushed right up into Isam's territory to try and support him. Isam himself, fortress on the edge here, so Misha's going to have to look to be defending this pretty soon. Misha himself has got a fortress over here. Who is producing what and what's going on over this side? Mark Auriel has arrived. He's decided he's had enough of Emperor's presence there, but he's now run into some resistance from Caesar. Who is the most armed here? Mark Auriel has got quite a few of the upgrades. Caesar has not got the same amount of upgrades for military as he has for eco, and is forced to retreat. And Mark Auriel decided he's had enough of this crap, and the elephants are going in. This does not look good for Caesar's expansion. Meanwhile, on the other side, we're seeing Expert looming around the base of Faction 2. Also, hassling Faction 2 down here, being pursued by both Faction 2 and briefly for Isam. I think Isam's going to try and go after him. So maybe Expert's going to try and run them in front of this wood line, completely occupied by Misha. But Misha will not thank him for this. This has caused a response. Misha's only got a small number of infantry here. They all gather behind the rudimentary defences and get in place pretty quick. I think that might be enough to see off. Faction 2. On the other side, Mark Auriel is making a mess of all of. He's captured that military colony, made an absolute mess of Caesar's expansion. Over here, he is hassling Emperor. I think he's going to capture this barracks if he keeps going. The elephants are in.
Yes, see?
Yeah, so Emperor in a world of trouble. This has given Pistol Pete breathing space. He's made it up to phase 2. Everybody else, apart from Emperor, is in phase 3. Emperor and Caesar in a bit of trouble over here. Caesar trying to hold this. He's sending reinforcements in, but he's lost so much of this territory. It's dodgy. So left to his own devices, Mark Auriel's going to capture that, as he has captured all this stuff. He's got the tower. He's got the barracks. Emperor down to a population of 50. Caesar, population of 92. A big ass army going in on Isam 96, but with support from Faction 2 and elephants. And we get the dreaded lag at this point because there are so many units on the map, but I'll do my best to tell you what's going on and see who's winning this. Let's select them all and see. So we are seeing in the light blue, is that Hero Elephant? Hard to tell. Just a War Elephant. 28 Javelineers and falling. 14 of those. I can't pronounce them. Where's that? Phalagites. Those. We are seeing Spearmen, and they're up against... Oh, they're outnumbered, surely. I don't know. Isam seems to be holding steady. Everything grinds to a bit of a halt. I think Misha and Expert are holding this well, to be honest, at this point. There are elephants there, though. If he runs out of... well, there's one less now. So this is one of the first critical key battles, where it looks like Mark Auriel's all over the CC of Emperor. Emperor is going down, surely. I think they're going to go for a capture. That seems to be Mark Auriel's style. No, they've managed to destroy it anyway. So, yeah. Caesar trying to capture this one back and has done so. Turfs out. Mark took his eye off the ball a little bit there. Whilst smashing up Emperor, Mark Auriel has lost this expansion that he captured. But I imagine Mark Auriel will have something to say about this. Will Pistol Pete be a force at some point? But Caesar just happy to get that back. But Mark Auriel's army are marching on. On this side, the battle still rages. Misha's got rams out, but they can't get anywhere near Isam 96. Faction 2 literally throwing masses of reinforcements in. The elephant's chasing the ram away. Mark Auriel is at pop max, so is Isam 96. Misha under a little bit of pressure here. And Expert, I think, needs to commit some more reinforcements because it's looking a little bit dodgy. Yeah. Misha's conceding territory here. Think Faction will have to drop back a little, but Isam is now supporting on this side. Emperor down to a population of 24 and largely removed as a fighting force from the game. Caesar, he's not about to lose that again. He's got nobody garrisoned in it. Caesar is pulling out and he's going to lose all this territory. Mark Aurelius going to get that back. Was that intentional? I don't quite see the point of that. He's going to get troops back into it. Yeah, so Mark Aurelius not going to get that capture easily. Over this side, Faction 2 is now inside this sort of inner ring of defences. Misha and Expert having to fight very much a defensive battle. Mark Aurel has reached Caesar's base and he's got nothing there that can stop those elephants, I don't think. So I reckon this is Caesar's CC coming down quite rapidly. The elephants are working on it, the infantry are arriving, but that CC is surely falling. We'll keep an eye. You'd have to kill 3 elephants in less than 5 seconds. They're repairing the CC. They may just get away with this. They've killed 1. That CC is clinging to life and there's only 1 elephant left. It's down to 32. It's gone, and then the elephant will surely be killed. Yes, so Caesar has lost his main base. He's got this one back. Mark Aurel perhaps expended himself a little bit here, although he has got a military colony here. Mark Aurel, population of 170, more than Caesar. Caesar is pop capped. Over this side, the battle rages on. They are getting dangerously close to Misha's CC. They're attacking his fortress. Fortress is half destroyed. Too many elephants. Expert sends the cav in. Misha down to a population of 75. And there goes the fortress, and all attention now surely is going to turn to the CC. I don't think Expert is going to be able to stop them because Isam is in there. Very good support from Isam. He's got rams of his own. That CC is done, and I think Misha is done for. There we go. So we have a fall on each flank. Mark Aurel looking to take all this back now, sending troops forward. Caesar really is going to have to try and rebuild his. He's rebuilt his CC, so Caesar trying to get back into it. Didn't lose that much of his population. Misha, on the other hand, I think is in terrible trouble, and it looks like this is Emperor trying to rebuild in relatively safe central areas. So at the moment we're seeing Mark Aurel versus Caesar over this side, and it's Expert and Misha versus Isam and Isam and Faction 2, and Isam and Faction 2 have definitely got the momentum over here. They are massacring Misha 97. Misha 97, population of 45, greatly reduced capacity. They are gonna have to hide out and rebuild somewhere. Can Expert hold these guys off? I don't think he's got the numbers. Population of 170, 47 cav, only 57 infantry, being overwhelmed by 108 infantry. There is elephants and Isam over here, 116 infantry and a couple of cav, plus some siege. So I think, unless Mark Aurel comes back over this side and supports it, that Expert is going down, I reckon. Interesting. What is Mark Aurel doing? Mark Aurel is surrounding Caesar at the top. Caesar, population of 118. Mark Aurel gradually dismantling him. That expansion is still there, but it's largely gone. Elephants are in. Pistol Pete is supporting now, so Pistol Pete finally in a position. He's reached pot max. He's got some military upgrades. It's Isam who's got all of the military upgrades. Anybody got will to fight? Yeah, Isam's got will to fight as well. So Isam is officially the hard ass on this map at the moment. You don't want to mess with him. He's got all the military upgrades and will to fight, and anything that Expert throws at him, I think it's going to be an inevitable death. And facing Isam and facing Faction 2, who are both very capable players, very aggressive. They've scythed right through the middle of Misha's territory, and they are going for the jugular. I think unless Mark Aurel wakes up to the danger here and tries to save them, he may find himself devoid of two of his teammates very, very quickly. Mark Aurel has been effective. He is dismantling this. He's not been able to completely kill off Caesar at all. And they're trying to get their infrastructure back up. Caesar is bogged down with fights over here. These are going to be in amongst the women pretty soon, so his infrastructure is non-existent. Caesar down to a population of 55. I think he has effectively crippled Caesar completely. Pistol Pete and Mark Aurel now come into the rescue. They are, I think they're going to be possibly just in the nick of time, as everything is circling around Expert CC. In come Pistol Pete's troops. Pistol Pete, 7 military upgrades. Anybody else got will to fight? Just Isam at the moment. And this probably is the definitive stand here. They're going for, I think they want to go for a capture, possibly. There's a lot in that CC. It's going to be difficult to capture. Pistol Pete getting some kills now. But the elephants have arrived. Yeah, there's a few of them getting killed off here by Pistol Pete. They're not reaching the target now, and Isam has to leave the CC and fight this. So Faction 2 getting a bit bogged down in this assault. The elephants are not getting to the target. There's a lot of cav here waiting to mop them up. Mark Aurel's troops that he sent in here, I think, have been dispatched. But Mark Aurel's pressing on to Faction 2's base now. This will be quite a performance by Mark Aurel if he manages to stop this. And I think this assault has now been somewhat derailed. Everything's getting killed. Expert has managed to survive, albeit with a little bit of support from Pistol Pete and from Mark Aurel. They are running out of steam. Isam's still got a full population there. Almost. Mark Aurel still with a nearly full population. Faction 2, 173, and getting trouble from Mark Aurel here. There are 2 elephants there. He could be in and sort of decapitate his power base from behind there. That's not good. Caesar's up and building again, but population of 54, not going at any great speed. Emperor, population of 60. But no, well, he's got an infantry. He's got 32 of them. Misha, population of 9, has not been able to rebuild. Isam and Faction pressing again. They're starting to rip through some more reinforcements required, and it's arriving in the shape of a big contribution from Mark Aurel and Pistol Pete. So how long can they keep them out? Isam able to stay at pot max. Meanwhile, over here, the enemy are literally at the CC. That CC could be going down. Faction 2 must be aware of this. He's bringing troops back, but that CC... What is this, the 3rd CC that Mark Aurel has took down in this game? It's halfway destroyed. They aren't going to be able to get a capture or destruction as the infantry come out and now are socking it to Mark Aurel. So I think Faction 2 might just have this, possibly. It's a close fight. Down here, Isam is again at the CC. They haven't got any siege or elephants or anything nearby that can take this down. The CC is half destroyed. Pistol Pete is sending his cav in. Expert sending his cav out. And I think that is the route. I think... No, they're having to fall back. Still nobody else has got will to fight. And they're now having a go. Oh, it's the Fire Cav, isn't it? Obviously, it is Pistol Pete and the Fire Cav. So I think the balance has possibly swapped back. We have perhaps the most overpowered unit in the game being wielded by Pistol Pete now. And it'll be a shame if Fire Cav decides it, because it's been quite a tactical game so far. Pistol Pete, 65 cav, and you would bet all of them shoot fire arrows.
Yeah, Steve?
Largely all of them. Let's have a look. He's got cavalry javelineers and the 24 of the champions in there, so it's a mix. ISAM's having to go after him while Faction 2 has a go at Expert now. They aren't destroying his infrastructure buildings. There are elephants in there though, but can they get close enough to the CC? Don't think they can. What's Mark Auriel doing? Mark Auriel has not been able to take out Faction 2. He's now coming round, presumably might be looking to link up with Pistol Pete. We're seeing Emperor not really getting involved. He's sending small amounts of troops, but it's ISAM who's here. Pistol Pete ravaging through Emperor's base. He's going to try and fire his CC. That scared him a bit. So it's run and gun with Pistol Pete here. He's got them all moving away. What's going on here? Expert has managed to clear, pretty much clear. There's one hero there that's giving everybody hassle. But by and large, Expert has managed to clear out the invaders from his lands. And suddenly, for the first time, it's ISAM 96 who's a little bit under pressure here. Mark Auriel's still weakening Faction 2's infrastructure from within. And he's got captures. He's captured a temple up there. The Fire Cav are being brought to bear on ISAM 96. ISAM 96 down to a population of 173 and falling. Lots of fire, as you would expect from the Fire Cav. And a big four-way battle going on here. Emperor's done well to get back into the fighting. Certainly done better than Misha. Misha really has done nothing since he was kicked out of the game. Obviously just didn't have the wherewithal to rebuild. So Team 2 are a player light, but they are the ones doing the attacking at the moment. And Expert trying to extract some revenge for that attack from ISAM 96 and from Faction 2, and he's run straight into this cav. ISAM for the first time is in a bit of trouble, as is Faction 2. They're down to a population of 123, 127, and you don't want to be them right now. Caesar, what's he doing? Only got his population back up to 109, been totally emasculated by those earlier attacks from Mark Auriel. Has not been able to be a fighting force since. The Fire Cav doing their damage. Pistol Pete up to 80 kills, 283 kills. That is a testament to how lethal and overpowered they are. Especially considering the start to the game that Pistol Pete had. Don't let the Iberians make the Fire Cav seems to be the overriding lesson here. Faction 2 in big trouble. Population down to 83, the once mighty, and they are falling. So I think Faction 2 in terrible trouble. Mark Auriel now trying to mop this up. How's ISAM 96 doing? Population of 100, oh dear, 150 and falling. Now splattered between Expert's Cav, a little bit of Mark Auriel's infantry, and the Fire Cav of Pistol Pete. And this looks like a forlorn hope at the moment. ISAM keeping his population up above 150, but it's only sporadically before they get brought down again. Who's going to resign? Misha's sending Pistol Pete funds through the thing. He's actually got a build. What has he got there? He's got a stable. But that's a resignation. Isam has resigned. Emperor's resigned. Misha's resigned. Okay. Well, Misha was on the winning team. I'm guessing who technically would have won that then. That had to have been Team 2, surely. Let's have a look, see who is declared the victor. It all ended quite suddenly, but I think we know how it was going. Yeah, Team 2 by quite a distance. 45,294 plays 41,541. Yeah, that was interesting. Let's have a look, see how these populations fluctuated and see what went down. So Mark Auriel clearly very good at producing population, as was Faction 2 and Expert. And there was that struggle between Emperor and Pistol Pete. I don't know. I guess Emperor was trying to weaken Pistol Pete because he knew he was the Iberian player and the Fire Cav would be a thing later on. As it was, Mark Auriel came to his assistance. Caesar was not able to feature in that game. He expanded and then immediately got turfed out of those lands. Mark Auriel used the momentum, went ahead and basically removed Emperor from the game, and then went and largely crippled Caesar. Didn't kill him completely, but Caesar's impact on the latter half of that game was non-existent. It fell to Isam and Faction 2, who almost, and they wiped out Misha very, very quickly, almost got through Expert before the reinforcements arrived in the form of Mark Auriel and the aforementioned Fire Camp from Pistol Pete. And that was that. I'm afraid once enough of the Fire Cav are in there on the map and fighting in a team where it's balanced, then that can occasionally be it. So interestingly, top scorer overall was Isam96, who was playing a blinder up until the point he got overwhelmed by the reinforcements and the Fire Cav. I think we've got to give most valuable player to Mark Auriel for his charge up the right hand side, removing 2 of Team 1's players, especially Caesar, who has a very dangerous rating. I think he is a very dangerous player, but was not allowed to show any of that. So Caesar and Emperor's contributions were kind of completely wiped out. And it fell to Isam96 and Faction 2. As good as they were winning that side. They were no match for, they were no match for 3 other opponents. So I'm going to give it to Mark Auriel for that charge up the side there. Let's have a look at the kill-death ratios a minute, because I'm always interested in those. At one point Mark Auriel was killing at 4-1. It finished with kill-death ratios of... obviously the Fire Cav, you can see how fast they can make a difference. 1.79, Pistol Pete got the highest kill-death ratio. And then it was Mark Auriel and then Isam. I thought Isam was a bit unlucky. He got Will to Fight and all the upgrades, and nobody directly was a match for him, but he came up against too much. So I'm going to give it to Mark Auriel. I think special mention to Isam96 and Faction 2 for their efforts on the left-hand flank. Expert, he held on. He was supporting Misha as best he could, but didn't lose his base, held his nerve, and was there at the end to help with the victory and got a decent score himself. And Pistol Pete had the Fire Cav, and that's all we can say. He used them well. All right, that was quite good. Who was the top murderer there? Let's see, who got the most kills? Isam got 607. Yeah, by a long way, Isam was the biggest murderer there. So Isam will probably feel somewhat unlucky, as will Faction 2, that the other side of the map could not hold its own, even combined. But congratulations to Team 2. Congratulations to Mark Oriel. Thanks to Mark Oriel for submitting that game. It's been a little while. I've been meaning to get to that game for a while. Got a few other games of Mark Oriel, but they'll have to sit in the queue in their place. But it was due for a Mark Oriel game. So there you have it. Thanks to Mark Oriel for sending that in. Hope you enjoyed that. There will probably, I don't know if there will be a midweek game this week. It's going to depend on time, and I'm doing overtime again next week. So I am going to try and get all my games done at the start of the week and hopefully be able to queue them up early and maybe do another live game if I feel like a complete masochist sort of towards the end of the week. It's going to be a busy one, but thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you thought of the game in the comments. Do you agree with my most valuable player or my assessment of that? Did I miss the most glaringly obvious strategies that there were? Don't know. We'll see. I'm sure you will tell me about it. And let me know what you want to see more of on the channel. We are ruled by, people submitting the games, so there's only so much choice. I get submissions and I play the submissions, but people, on the one hand, people have commended me for covering weaker players in the 1v1s and stuff like that, and it gives them something to relate to. On the other hand, I get told you want to focus more on the top players so we can actually learn something. So I'm never going to be in a position to actually win on that. So I do my best and I try and cover all of the replays that I get sent as best I can. But I am genuinely interested in what you, the viewers, actually want to see more of. I've had to neglect things like tutorials because they just take so long to do. I'd like to do more of them, but I'd probably need a couple of weeks off work to get a series of tutorials done. That's not going to happen anytime soon. But let me know what you would like to see on the channel. Also, it's worth noting that Alpha 26 is looming. We're in that position again where, in typical 0 AD fashion, we don't know when it's going to be. There's no such thing as a deadline in Alpha 26 production, which makes it very difficult to know how many Alpha 25 games I'm going to be able to get to do before it launches. Last time, I think I had a week's notice at the very most, or no, I think it was less than that, which is a bit alarming as I'm supposed to be doing the press releases and stuff for Alpha 26. I don't know when it's going to launch. What am I going to do? But we shall see. It probably is still worth you submitting your Alpha 25 games. There is a backlog. We've had a sudden glut of games. But just be aware, if you submit your games now, there is quite a good chance I may not get to them before Alpha 26 launches. Right, that's enough waffle from me. Again, congratulations to Team 2. Massive thanks to Mark Oriel for submitting that. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care and bye for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, please do drop a like on the video, subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. Remember, you can now download the replay files for the 0 AD matches that I cover if you want to view them yourself within the game via the 0 AD Newbie Rush replay archive. Links to that and a whole bunch of other great 0 AD related stuff are available in the video description, including how to submit your own game replays for inclusion in a future episode. Bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video.